Oh, fall afternoon. I'm just looking at the last of my flowers, guys. These have been out here all summer. Something tropical, I don't know what they are. They're the last planter that I have with flowers still in it. Everything else has kind of died off. It is the season. You can see the beautiful fall colors all around. Frost every morning now. Kind of a night to contemplate as I'm putting stuff away. The kayak is going away. I just took down the hammock. I hate that. That's the time of year when I gotta take down the hammock. And that means summer is over, officially. I mean, fall is my favorite time of year, but we had 2 days of sunshine and it rained for 10 days before this, so the hammock was actually kind of dry. So I'm taking this opportunity to kind of organize the shed a little bit. Unfortunately, that means the snowblower and the plow for my four-wheeler will be the next two things that I have to take out. We have to get through fall first, right? One step at a time. And I love fall. It's my favorite time of year. Photography abounds. There's hunting, hiking in the nice cool afternoon, smelling of the turnovers, the leaves come down and they start to rot. It's that smell of fall. It's amazing. It's my favorite time of year. So I'm trying to stay as busy as I can, not just here, in the yard and doing all the things we do for the household and the kids and work, but the channel as well. I've had a very busy season starting the second channel. And we've done 2 videos a week for the other channel, and I'm doing 3 videos a week for this channel. So somehow I've managed to find the time to do 5 videos a week. That is freaking insane if I stop and think about it, right? But I mean, I'm up at 5:30 in the morning and I don't go to bed till midnight. So I do manage to get everything done. It's just that this time of year, things start to slow down because there just isn't as much for me to do. And I find that builds my anxiety level. So I've had to stop and meditate on it and think about it. And this has been a year where I have really struggled. I'm doing very good now, and I didn't let on through any of my videos throughout the year. I might have mentioned a little bit here and there about my eyes bugging me and stuff like that, but I've really had a terrible summer with anxiety levels through the roof, right? But now I'm actually feeling pretty good, guys. And I just want to say, this is the second time in my life where I have had a long, prolonged period of 6 months where I have struggled, with just trying to find enjoyment in the things that I love, And so I just want to talk about that for a couple of minutes because, mental, state of mind and happiness and all of that is a big part of this channel because we do the Transcending series. And it's hard for me to talk about it when I'm not feeling great. Right? It's hard to, I don't want to bring everyone else down, and it's just something that you just kind of we tend to struggle through on our own. And I have done it, and I have come over the hump, I feel. I went later in the summer and I had eye treatments done, and unfortunately I wrecked the truck on the day of the last treatment because I'll tell you guys, the treatments actually worked. The eye doctor told me, you won't feel anything, it won't feel a lot better until after you get the 4th treatment in. And it's been about 35 days now, and my eyes feel almost normal. So I'm rejoicing on that. I feel really good about that. But it's also taught me to stay on top of what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, constantly evaluating and trying to answer the question, if I could make today the best day, what does that consist of? Okay, and I'm trying to pass this on to my kids, and they're teenagers, so they don't want to hear it. Dad's going all spiritual again, or Dad wants to talk about, what's gonna make me happy, and they don't want to partake in that. I know that as we get older and wiser, we begin to understand that this is a process that we all have to go through. If you're not paying close attention to what you're thinking and feeling and why, that's when we tend to get derailed. We wake up and we've been in the same job that we hate for 10 years and we go, how did I get here? Well, we didn't take the time to stop and reflect and say, am I truly happy? Am I doing what I want to be doing? And that's exactly what happens. We get in a routine and we just stay in that routine. And so I just want to pass on a couple of things that I learned this summer. Well, I knew them before, but I reminded myself, and that is to constantly push your boundaries, to push your sense of comfort, to get out of your comfort zone and do things that push you beyond that. And by that, I mean, I did a couple things this summer that I was almost becoming more recluse because of the COVID, and I was spending less and less time at the office and out socializing with people. So I was working at home, staying at home, making videos at home, or me engaged alone in the bush all the time. And it just got to be to the point where I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to socialize. I didn't want to talk to people. And so the first thing I did to make myself start feeling better was I forced myself to go back in and work at the office 2 days a week, whether I wanted to or not. I don't have to because I have computers at home and I can do everything online, but I was like, no, I'm going to get out and I'm going to bug our secretary. I'm going to sit beside her and we can bug each other all day. And just to have a bit of banter, a bit of back and forth with the other office girls, you know, with the patients and the clients coming in, that helped a lot, okay? Just to get out of that comfort zone. And that reminded me, don't sit around and stay at home any longer than you have to alone, okay? Get out and socialize. We are human creatures, and humans are social creatures. You have to get out and you have to just, even if it's just for a coffee with somebody once a week, you know, whatever it is. And the second thing that I did was I went on that trip to Holland. Guys, I did not want to go on that trip. I did when I booked it, but then the more I thought about it, the more anxious I got. I'm not a good flyer. I hate flying. I hate traveling. And just the thought of the time change and the 10 days away from home and all that, it really stressed me out. But as we got closer, I kept pushing myself and I said, no, we're going to go and we're going to do this. We're going to have fun. And that's exactly what I did. And I feel fantastic for having done it. And I gave my daughter an opportunity to see culture and history and a trip that not too many other people get the chance to do, especially with their dad, right? So she might not think it's the greatest thing right now, but in future years, I guarantee you she's going to look back at this trip and say, wow, what an amazing time. And we've already talked about it. We said in 30 years we'll go back. She's gonna drag me back there when I'm 75 and we'll do it all again. We'll go back to the places that we visited this time. So getting out of the comfort zone. The other thing I realized this summer is the anxiety. I don't know what it was. I couldn't shake it from about March until mid-July. I just could not shake it. I woke up every day and I just had that pit of emptiness inside me, like, I don't want to do anything. I don't feel like doing anything. And yet I have this anxious feeling of I'm not doing enough. I should be doing more. And it's a conflict, but you don't want to address it because you don't feel good. You're depressed, right? That's what depression is. I'd rather just kind of let everything build up. And then as it builds up, you're feeling worse and worse about it because you're not doing what, you know, the simple things. For me, I don't like being unorganized or letting work build up. And that's exactly what I was doing. So I had to address that and get back into doing all the things I wanted to do. But what I want to say is that I realized a very important thing, that here I am in the middle of summer with all these adventures going on, all of these things going on, spending time golfing and fishing and kayaking and metal detecting and doing all of these things and not enjoying half of them because I'm always stressed out or worried about winter. Believe it or not, I was stressed out and worried about, oh man, I felt so crappy starting in March that I was in July looking ahead to next winter going, oh, I don't know if I can handle that, you know? And then it hit me, okay? This is the worst I've felt in 10 years, and it is summer, and I have all of these things to do. That is 100% a product of my mind, the way I'm looking at this situation and the way I'm looking at this coming of winter, right? Like, there is no reason for me to feel this bad other than I am making myself feel this bad, worrying about something that I don't have to worry about. Why don't I have to worry about it? Because I can address winter the same as I do summer. Fill my time, be organized, get out of the house, do things, stay busy. You know, all of those little things. I guess the main thing I'm saying is if I could feel that bad in summer, worrying about something that was 6 months out, I honestly didn't feel that I was going to be feeling any worse in winter. I felt I honestly believe I was as depressed as I've ever been, felt as bad as I've ever felt, and it wasn't even winter. So when that clicked in my head, that thought made me go, wait a minute, you're doing this to yourself, right? And I know it takes a lot of cognitive training, a lot of meditation and years, and having gone through it before to kind of realize that. And I just want to share that with you guys, you know, and many of you have been through it before as well. Just get out of your comfort zone, guys, and think about it. If you're feeling that crappy every day, you know, are you doing things to put yourself in that spot? Yeah, I'm going to say probably 100%. It's all perspective, right? And so tonight, it's a beautiful night. Here I am cleaning up stuff, took down the last of the flower planters that were hanging in the backyard, hung up the hammock, you know, and it's kind of, I could let this get me down and go, oh crap, we're one step closer to winter, but no, because you know what I'm going to do, guys? I'm going to embrace winter. We are going to carry on, and we are going to do just as many adventures, and winter can be a time for two more things for me. Well, more than two things. I can do research on the channel. We can do videos on the channel that don't require me to be out in the field. So if we want to break down other people's videos, or if we want to take a look at historic sites and things like that, and we can make videos on them. There are tons of videos that I can make without going out on site. Yes, we're going to try to get out every day. Gage needs to run every day, and I need to run every day. But when that can't happen, and there are sometimes can be up to almost 2 months of -30, cold and dark up here, I'm going to just fill my time with other things. Just have to constantly be adding things. I've joined the gym again, is the other thing that we're going to do. I've already started playing squash again, and boy, do I hurt. I've been back to the gym 3 times, because I played squash twice, and I actually went for a workout. So that is the other thing that I'm going to do with my winter hours, is I'm going to devote my time to this guy. I want to lose maybe another 12 pounds. We did last spring, we lost almost 12 pounds. Well, guess what? This winter, we're going to focus on getting healthy and being a little stronger and just working out. Working out makes me feel good. And I will reiterate that I've said that before on this channel, that is the number one thing. Even if you don't want to, go for a walk every day. Just doing a little bit of exercise like that. Do some yoga, do some stretching, half an hour of that a day. Go for a half-hour walk a day. Your mind and your body are connected. And if you're making one feel better, the other is going to feel better. Anyway, I just wanted you guys to, you know, stop and reflect and think about, ask yourself, you know, what makes me happy? What do I want to do? I mean, sometimes you have to do things you don't want to, such as maybe the current job you're in or whatever, but you can always take little steps to make those changes. You just have to know what you want. You have to know yourself. We've talked about that before on the channel, and I absolutely believe that. If you don't sit down with yourself and talk to yourself and figure out what makes you happy, what do you want, set some goals for the future, have a little treat set up for yourself, you know, whether it's a weekend getaway somewhere or buying yourself a new toy or a new fishing rod or whatever it is that you like to do, you know, just something that you can say, I'm going to work, you know, maybe you pick up an extra little something on the side that gets you busy, gets you out of the house, you make a few bucks, and you say, hey, I'm going to treat myself by going away for a weekend or whatever it is, you know, a little goal. That's all I'm saying, is you have to have things to look forward to. Honesty is a good policy, right? I can't pretend to be somebody that I'm not all of the time. I can't be the entertainer always up, and I mean, I did a pretty darn good job this summer because there were some times when I didn't want to, but you know what? That's not healthy either. Pretending to be in a space that you're not really in. It's kind of a double-sided coin, I'll say that, because you know what? It did help me. Getting out, you know, going on treks with Stan first thing in the spring, even though we weren't detecting, that was the best thing to start getting me out of the funk. That was the first phase of pulling Gary out of his deep winter anxiety that I had last year. And that was step number one. Step number two was getting out and going to the office 2 days a week. And then as the season progressed, you know, and as my eyes got better after these treatments and things like that, it just all kind of came together to make me feel a lot better. And now I am cognitive. I'm thinking about it. Where am I? Why was I there? And what am I going to do to stay here in this good place and maybe even feel even better? You know, I feel pretty good, but I mean, you can always probably feel better. I didn't mention, Blue Jays are going to make the playoffs this year. They've already secured a spot, and hockey season is just around the corner. So 2 more great things, great reasons for Gary to keep climbing and feeling good. Well, until I start watching the Leafs. That always brings me down a notch.